let me change my screen here. There we go. Welcome, guys. Good morning. We got 8:30. Already got my coffee. Ready to do this. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day weekend. I did, just kind of hanging out, having a good time with the fam. Weather over where I wasn't the greatest for most of the days. Yesterday wasn't too bad. Nothing amazing, but not too bad. We're just gonna go through the market today, kind of what I see. Obviously, there's some lot going on here. I wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna jump right into a few plays actually. Let's talk about our play last week. So, as you guys know, if you follow me, those you guys know in the room, Friday we just really weren't into it on trading, and a lot of the reason, guys, is because we only would take 0-day contracts as far as options go, because I didn't want to leave anything over the 3-day weekend. There's just no point in burning that time. It's kind of funny because on Friday we had a call where it captured this long here, right? We did capture a little bit of a short here on Thursday, which was cool, but it captured that long, like you guys know. The retests and stuff were there, but the indicator just nailed that long. And so as it threw this short, right, we did have a nice little pullback from this short. I mean, that's almost like $1 pullback, right, which is still a good, nice little option scalp. But towards the end of the market, I think it was like 2:30, it called another long. And I'm like, man, this thing is just nuts. Like, taking a long up here is just wild, right? Like, you have a long, you got all this resistance. But look at the pre-market 422. I mean, it actually got up to about TP3. Obviously, it's aftermarket, but be curious to see if this holds. But this indicator has just been absolutely on fire. So I just kind of wanted to cover that. When it comes to the SPY, guys, there was a line here on the SPY somewhere between 422 and 423 that's just going to be ridiculous resistance. I'm going to touch more on the SPX. It's going to correlate anyways. You can see the SPX, because the SPX has the after hours on this particular chart, you can see a little bit better picture, and that, obviously the SPY is going to follow along. So you can see that, it's not a real big one, right? But we have our uptrend as 1, 2, 3, and then right here it couldn't break it and it just collapsed, right? So we're now touching that again, not only once, twice, 3 times, and then now it's on the 4th time. So this is going to be a critical level as we open, because obviously we're going to have that double touch rejection here. It did call the double top here. More importantly, guys, if you look at the divergence, Hunter, we do have some bearish divergence also showing up. So you have this peak here, you have a higher peak, we do have a lower peak. So what I'm going to look for, come market open, is I want to see this on the 1 hour flip red. I would love that. If this flips red, man, I'm just going to take puts all day long, and it's going to just be such a profitable day. I'm going to delete some of these old lines. Honestly, guys, I was super lazy over the weekend. I didn't trade or do anything. I just let my ATA do everything for me. But we'll expand this one out a little bit, just because even if we do get this collapse, we could get a pretty heavy bounce somewhere in this range or in this range. There's gonna be a lot of support within here. Keep in mind, guys, it's the end of the month. They always love to do that kind of squeeze, push it up before they drop it a little bit. If you look at this, I mean, we've just been way overbought, even on the 1 hour. We can check out, see 2 hours still way overbought. Not as bad on the 4 or the 6. Let's take a look. Daily's kind of in the middle. So we're definitely in an overbought situation. You can see on the 5-minute that divergence is just, I mean, it's been going on for some time. So I'd be shocked if we don't have a little bit of a pullback today. The pre-market's just way up, and then obviously if it sets up this double top, because if you go into a little higher time frame, somewhere around the 1 or 2 hour, right, you got that kind of clear double top that's pointing out. So and we got the divergence to go with it as well. So just be really careful, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know I say this for a while, and that's fine. As we go up, I still am not interested in taking these calls. I will just ride it back down. The purpose for that is You know, we're just, if you really zoom out again, like I said, we have such a, you know, a gap down here that just hasn't filled, and now we're just increasing that gap, right? Um, but if you mute the harmonic tracker one, you have this one right here that it's button off of. But even after that, you know, you're gonna have, you know, something like this where you take all these peaks here and just kind of line them up, right? So it actually is a little bit thicker, right, than what we thought on that on just this one right here. So you could almost drag this one down all the way to here like that, and then we'll just make sure we're touching at least those peaks, and it'd be something like that. So when you zoom in on that, you can see we're just butting the resistance on it, right? So just stay safe out there, guys. If you missed the pump, my suggestion to you, if you're a bull, that's fine. Don't chase this, right? Wait for a pullback, at least something like this, right, before you start to see it go, because you're just going to get such a better entry. You know, or you're going to want to see this line break and start to act as support, and then that will just explode north. But as long as we're below this line, right, it's more likely that we're going to come down at least to here to kind of fill that gap. But plus you have the divergence starting to pop up. So let's jump on to the Dixie. So the Dixie is you rejecting a little. You can see, as we talked about on Friday, you know, we have this rounding. This trend line right here is going to be pretty sick. It has not been able to break it yet. We're just creating higher highs, you know, higher lows. It's kind of fighting this higher low. My call, if y'all remember on Friday, was that I would need to see the Dixie retest the 1 hour right here for support, which is the 200. If it can retest this as support and then hold up and get an explosion, it's going to create a squeeze between the 200 and this trend line. And if that trend line pops, right, it's going to pop pretty north. We are calling a lot of bearish gap fill, and you can see that starting to play out. So remember, we talked about that on Friday. This was, let's see, somewhere in here, right? So it went up a little bit more, and it began to kind of play out that bearish gap fill. The percent is still pretty far away, so that could lead me to believe that we might go a little sideways or retest this line here to complete that. So this is, you know, built on scalping. It's a little more accurate on the 5 minute. So let's see where we're at. Actually, on the 5 minute, it's flipping bullish, if you notice. So the short term actually saying we might see some reversal upside. So you always want to play your time frame. So let's take a look at the VIX, and then we'll get into crypto. So the VIX shot up, you know, hit our rejection line that we anticipated it would. And it's just hanging out near the bottom here. So you can see it's pumped up many times in here before, so that might be what gives us our initial pullback. This green line right here is a trend line I believe I drew from the daily, yeah. So it's pretty, I mean, this is since 2021, right? So it's pretty sick as far as the trend line goes. It's been going for a long time. We have broken it a few times in here. We broke it a few times in here, and it's just holding it, right? So if the VIX breaks this, right, the collapse should be pretty fast down to here, because there's nothing holding it up till you know, the lower levels of support. But if it continues to hold this trend line, right, it's just going to get into that squeeze, and that should pop up north. So we'll just keep an eye on the old VIX. Tech stocks I'm not going to cover much, but y'all remember Apple. We talked about this trend line was absolutely sick, and you know, we caught the break put here. I told everybody to be careful on the support level, because it is finding support right here, which it did. It flipped up. We regained our trend line, which is just massive for Apple, so it does not shock me that this is just exploding north. If you want to take a you know, put on Apple to try to ride it back down, you know, the two things I would be looking at would be, one, this just mini double touch trend line. See if it can hold, which is literally right at. If it starts to give you a bearish candle or bearish engulfing candle, then you're going to want to ride that back down. So, however, if we can break this line and it holds this, then you're going to look for your put somewhere up here. So I wouldn't take a call on it quite yet, but if you want to, you can. I don't typically trade a lot of Apple, so Microsoft's pre-market's up. You got, I mean, most everything pre-market's up right now. Google's pre-market's up. And Amazon is pre-market is up. So I don't know. Oh, I just accidentally moved my chart down. That's funny. Um, I'll deal with that later. Let's see if I can drag it. Come on. Yeah, I'll deal with it later. Um, so Bitcoin, let's talk about it a little bit. We'll talk about the harmonic one first. So y'all know from Friday I had talked about, we had this bearish pennant. It did break out. It found support at the previous level like we thought. It exploded north through the holiday. If you guys remember on Friday, I left you guys with saying that be careful on the holidays shorting because it's just common practice, it seems lately, that whenever we have these kind of holidays, the market makers tend to love to push it upward a little bit because I feel like it's nostalgia. People are out, they're having fun, they're drinking, doing their thing, and all of a sudden they get their alerts that Bitcoin's going. I mean, I even had people texting me over the weekend going, "Man, Bitcoin's pumping. Like, should I buy?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'd kind of like hang on, right? I mean, who knows if it's gonna hold, right? So it just they seem to do this on holidays a lot. So at an overall grand scheme of things, we just had a double touch here. It exploded north. It kind of gap filled this fall here. We did get a rejection off of this line that we were tracking, which is just a 2 point line right here. But we did get that rejection. So now where we go from here, we need to flip this line. We have to flip 28 for 47 or so for us to continue north. Otherwise, it's going to do the same thing that I think that the stocks are going to do, right? And if you look at it's already kind of building that M formation with a nice wick on the shoulder here. So the difference on Bitcoin is you don't really have that divergence here. We did have, there's really no bearish divergence popping off that is super apparent. So if we do break this, I think I have it on my other chart. Let's see where the harmonics say we're at. So yeah, the harmonics say we're still in a long. It hasn't called that short yet, and it played out really well. You can see. So I mean TP like whatever. So looking pretty good. As far as the order blocks go, we're kind of at a resistance line, but it's pretty fresh. We could see a high as 28.9, maybe 29.1 before we reject again pretty hard. So that would be what I would anticipate the high if you're going to play the order blocks from here. The low would basically be, coming back to retest this area here, which is like the 24, 25K. Let's take a look at the gap fill one. This one's just so sick. We just built this one. Let me make sure. Yeah, I have it a little high. It defaults at 110, guys, but I like it lately at 50. It gives me a little bit of a closer time frame. Nothing really popping up there. The bulls are just winning, is all that's telling me on the 1 hour. We do have some gap fills that need to happen down here around 27, a small one around 27.4. And again, there wasn't really anything above. This was the red line that I was looking for. It's not huge, but it's just basically these three peaks right here, which is going to add really, really good resistance, and it's also near a resistance zone. So if we do happen to pop this around 28.4, we're likely to go to about 29.3 before that harder rejection comes back. So as far as our zone trackers, it's calling your high up here from the 1 hour around that level, the 29.3, 29.4, and the low around 26.3 or so. So just kind of play your range with that. That's kind of where I see Bitcoin. And we'll talk about that when I set up my ATAs. As far as Ethereum, let's jump straight into the gap fill so we can get into the ATAs because we got a lot to cover. We do have same thing, double touch, pumped up. We're looking to try to double top here. If we do break the neckline somewhere around 1870 or so, as it comes down with market open, that's going to pull it back pretty drastic, at least for a retest for this 200 EMA around 1848. So, and that just happens to be right at the previous resistance trend line that we were following for some time. So, same thing with ETH, guys. Just be careful. ETH is a little different. Actually, it has Arguably some bearish divergence because this is pretty close to equal on the wicks. I mean, you had a little higher wick, so maybe, but just we're losing strength in that RSI, even though it did hold the price, right? So you can see that already kind of bleeding. Ethereum's showing a little different resistance line. The resistance here is somewhere between that 1930 range, and then the support is as low as like 1790 or 1800. So just play your range accordingly. So let's jump into the ATAs. We do have a lot we're running. Let's see how they did, guys. I may keep them going just because it is the start of the week. Let's jump into Aave first. So those who are new to watching this, whether you're TikTok or you're on YouTube, this is the automated trading portion. When I said I did not trade through the weekend, it's because I did not live trade. I still always run my ATA. So I ran Aave. This is my to-do list. This is what I run. Aave long short, ETH long short, LTC long short, and Solana long short. So let's take a look at Aave. So I'm just going to load up my chart just like so, and we'll see what do we got. So the short's looking good. We're in a short now. It's actually in profit, which is cool. So this one might actually close if it pumps up. So anytime a candle closes past this green line, it's a locked-in win. It's already a win. We do have our close candle. It did not really get caught. It had one DCA. Look at that. DCA'd it at the peak perfectly, sold it. For those who don't know, this is the short. This is the sell, short, sell. I created a scalping one because I'm using the 1 minute. We have the short, sell, short, sell. We're short and we're in profit. So our shorts are looking good. I'm not going to touch it. It didn't earn a ton, right? About $6 or so, right? For let's see, showing 1 day. When did I start this? Oh yeah, we started this yesterday, guys. What am I thinking? I didn't let it run through the week, and I forgot. See what I was talking about? These holiday weekends throw me off. I'm like, man, only 1 day. Remember, we added a lot more yesterday, so a lot of these are going to be 1 day. So we made about $6. Not nothing too fancy. We did start our longs. The cool part is our longs are actually not in a trade right now. We could stop it, but I'm gonna let it roll for a little bit. We'll see. But we did start this yesterday, so about $11 on Solana. In 1 day, it's not too bad, guys. Considering it's fully automated, it's 1 day, and this is based off of like a $5,000 account, so it's not really a massive investment. Let's take a look at ETH. So I know ETH, we got out of our long, we were stuck in our short. Let's see if it DCA'd. It might have DCA'd through this. I don't remember where I said it. No. Oh, it did not. Look at this. Our DCA point was 1924 if we jumped above it, and we never did. Right, so we're right at our DCA point. So we're at a point with ETH. Either we're going to come back down to the 1780 range, or we're going to pump up just a little bit to get that DCA up a little bit. So we'll leave that. For those who follow in the short, I'm just running short ETH, parabolic SARS, the default take profit. This was the settings I set on my second DCA. You can pause and read. And that was the closeout date that I did. Longs are killing it. Look at this, 7 days, $24, not bad. So this has been kind of the longs since we got out. Over here we got one long. Remember Sunday we talked about, just barely missed that. Since then, on Monday it had a long, perfect DCA, got out, took another long out, a long out, long out, long out, long out, and we're currently in a long. So hasn't missed on the longs yet. So I'm not going to do anything with the longs. If you're following me, this is the settings: ETH, Big Get, parabolic SARS, TPs. I'm only doing one DCA. This was my closeout. Pause to read. All right, we're just cruising. It wasn't a whole lot of movement other than a little upside, right? So I wasn't really expecting things to be super stuck. LTC, I believe we're still in a short. Yes. Oh, look at that. We got our DCA too, guys. Right there. You see how powerful that is, guys? Like, if you look at where our entry was, way down here, right? Instead of DCAing in these levels like we talked about, we wanted to give it some time, right? Let it DCA up as high as it possibly can, and look at how much it pulled my entry up. I mean, all the way from 85 to 89. That literally, we went from this much of a gap, right, to this much of a gap. So we just need a slight pullback. If we get that double top on BTC or ETH, we get that slight pullback, we're in good shape. If we do pump, we could go as high as this yellow line, guys, all the way to the dollar. So I'm not looking to DCA 3 now unless it gets somewhere up here or possibly even past. So we might be hanging out a little bit for the LTC, but it made 38 bucks in 6 days. And so what the beauty is if we come out and we do happen to crash down a little bit, this is gonna be a really big trade. So longs have done well. Made 20 bucks yesterday. So you can see it did its long DCA, right? Long, 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 long. So it has not actually, it only had one DCA right off the start, which was great. It was literally at the bottom, perfectly played. And it's just been longs all the way up ever since. So longs I'm running just default LTC, parabolic, TPs, one DCA, pause to read, and there's my entry. So you can always, if you're not running it, you can start it now. So. But we're looking pretty good. So I'm not going to make any adjustments to LTC. Looks like we got that second DCA, so that was perfect. I'm happy about that. Last one we need to look at is Solana. All right, so we just started Solana yesterday. So we made about $5, about the same as the other ones. We did take a short, looking pretty good. Short. We are on DCA 1, not too far from our entry here. Solana, I'm not running a DCA 2 yet, so we're not far enough away to make a decision on a 2. I'd love to just see where the market goes before I make that decision. So if I go to the 1 hour, I'm probably not going to add a 2 unless it gets somewhere up in this range here, because then my 3 would be somewhere up in this range here. So we're just going to sit tight on it. We do have kind of somewhat of a inverse head and shoulder looking here. So if we do get a break above this level here, 21.47, I mean, it's gonna just take off. So unfortunately, we got to be patient with Solana. But Solana's done really well. The way it moves, man, it just the ATA does really well with it. So I'm not too concerned yet. Longs have done really well. So we are closed here. We made 17 bucks yesterday. Oh, this looks like Y, guys. Look at, man, what a freaking great trade. So the very first one we did, look at this. It took a long. It saw the pullback, right? DCA'd it, pulled my entry down, and then it literally caught the pump, and it didn't sell it until right there. So it actually got TP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what caused us to have a nice trade there. So I had one day, and we made 17 on that. So, and then it took another nice long, and it just took a long here, and we're not in a trade right now. So we're just kind of hanging out. So we'll see. So the perfect scenario would be that we get a pullback from Solana that would get our short out, and then we're just back to business. If you're following me, I'm not going to make any changes. And also, I wanted to, while we're live here, plus if you're watching this huddle, as you guys know, if you're following me on TikTok, I talked about, coming up with a program where, for those who don't have time, you can automate something. We did figure something out. Super excited to announce it. We'll probably even be able to, we figured out how to do it in a way to integrate into what we already have, which is awesome because we can get that probably up as soon as by the end of the week, give or take. But what we are going to be launching, actually, guys, is going to be a copy trade program for the ATA. So what that means is if you're someone super busy, right, and you don't have time to learn this, you own a business, you're real busy, or let's just say you just struggle with technology, right, and you're like, man, I don't even know what you're talking about. I can't do this. But you're following me, right? You're watching this. You can see how I've performed, how I've earned, how I've won, and you're like, man, I want to do that. The good news is for you, we're actually going to create a copy trade program that will copy exactly what I'm doing here. So you literally, all you have to do is you go onto the website, you're going to put in your exchange, you're going to, activate that. That part everybody seems to get super easily. The part that tends to get people a little stuck is, adding the indicators and dealing with TradingView. And so the best part about that is you can set your account up to just follow what I'm doing. And the nice thing is I am going to be doing all of my trades like I do now on the Huddle. Anything that I modify will be recorded. That way we have full transparency. You can see what I'm doing. That way if I say, hey, I'm going to start a Solana long or short, and you're like, I don't like Solana, right? just turn Solana off on your dashboard and it won't follow me, right? So you'll have full control of that, of what you want to follow, what you don't want to follow. You know, you can always close out trades on your end, right? So you have that full power. So, but I think it could be a great thing because I'm gonna do this anyways, guys, because I'm trading my own ATA. All these things you see on here, this is connecting to mine. I'm currently trading my Gambit. I'm actually thinking of converting over to have it follow my Goliath, so that way you guys can see those real profits from it. But I think we figured out a way to do this copy trade all the way down to Ultron. So even though I'm running a Goliath, you don't have to run a Goliath. If you have an Ultron, you know, you want to come in with $1,000, you can do that and you can follow what I'm doing. So, and you can literally, the beauty of it is, right, you could just watch my huddle, right? Because I want you to be comfortable with my plan. If I get stuck, right, we're gonna get stuck. What's the plan? You know, and so you can watch the huddle without having to learn the settings. So you know, more to come on that, guys, but we did figure it out over the weekend, our programmers and myself, and you know, we're gonna actually sit down at some point today and go through it. Probably our hopes is by Friday, you know, maybe we'll be able to link those in and give you that option. So I'm super excited for that. You know, obviously, you know, I think, you know, there's some people that just, they're learning it. They know how to do it. They want to just do it themselves. Like, you guys are killing it. There's guys that have made $6,000, $7,000, you know, in just a month. I know, John, if you're on here, you know, you're at what, 7,500, you know, just for the month. So if you guys are doing great and you've got the system, man, just you keep on keeping on, right? But there's some people out there that I've talked to, a lot of one-on-ones, that they're just struggling to get this. And it just, that bothers me, because I want everybody to experience those kind of earnings without stressing about it, right? And that's why we want to have the balance of doing the copy trade, but being able to watch a video to understand my thought process. You know, there's a lot of companies out there or exchanges that do copy trade, but you're just blind. You're just following, and you're just like, boy, I hope he wins, right? You don't know who it is. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what their thought process is. I mean, do they just have a lot of money and they're throwing it at it until they win, right? You know, we don't want to create a program like that. I refuse to. So our program is going to be just 1,000 times better. You're going to see what I do on these lives, right? You're going to see it real time, and you're going to see the decisions I make, right? Like LTC, right? You know, we know we're stuck. We had a plan. We waited. It worked. You know, if you see your trade getting a little deep, you want to be able to get on a video and go, oh, okay, he added it up here. Here's the resistance. Here's why. I'm okay with that, right? Like, you're comfortable with it versus, you know, just like, dang, this trade's getting deep. Wonder what's going to happen. Is this going to take a loss? And you start freaking out, right? And stuff starts going through your mind. So that's why we do these huddles. So I did want to touch on that just briefly. But guys, we're set. You know, I'm not going to make a change on these quite yet. We're slightly overextended to where I probably should, but that's okay. We're gonna let this run today, and we'll make a decision if we want to add some existing trades tomorrow to shut some things down. So, but keep in mind, stay safe out there if you're trading, whether it's the ATAs or you're trading live. Debt ceiling stuff is not over, man. You know, they say they had a deal. You know, in principle, that deal could be squashed. You know, with you know, just a few, you know, votes on the other side. So, the moment that happens, I mean, there's going to be some turmoil in the markets. So, just stay safe out there, guys. I'll be trading a little bit in the room. If you're in the community, look for the link. If you're on TikTok, y'all want to come in. We put the link on the, link out on the trading floor. This is our website, botjock.com. Here is our accounts. Here you can come into your trading floor. And this is where I put that there. So the last thing I want to touch on, I only have about a minute left, guys. We are super excited to announce that we did launch our affiliate program. Part of our affiliate program is, you know, we believe in our product. We know that we have a great product. There's many people that love the product. You know, we just need to get more exposure, right, to get out there to let people know about the product and how great it is. So if you have any kind of following, you love to trade, you want to, you know, come in and test our product, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, and hear me when I say this. We do not want you as an affiliate unless you have tried our product, right? Or you're willing to try our product and you believe in our product. Because I do not want anybody promoting something just to promote it. You either believe in it or we would prefer you not to do it. And we love feedback, right? So part of the affiliate program, you guys can just go to the website and read it. I'm not going to read all this stuff, right? But we have all the program guidelines in here, as far as what you get, what is offering. And the best part is you actually get a free membership for applying and being approved as an affiliate. The reason why we do that is we don't want you to promote something you have not tried, right? And so we want you to try it. We encourage you to try it because we know that you'll love it. So check out our affiliate program if you are interested, earning some side money. And you can message us for more details on that. So, but just go to bodjock.com and check that out. 9 o'clock, guys. I'll see you guys in the room. We're gonna make some money. And TikTok, I don't look at comments. I'll hang out here in a minute and take a look at some comments from